laughed or actually been
Well,
heard
it's
it?
been a great help because just imagine in one of our television shows, more people see me than saw Houdini in his whole lifetime. So it's very important to spread the magic. But also you have to be very careful that people don't expect trick photography and think it is. So I always try to do my shows in front of a live audience or do live shows. Like, this is a live show, so nobody can kind of gimmick the tape or anything like that.
But although trick photography is an unacceptable lie to audiences, there is a different kind of lie that does rest at the heart of the relationship between the magician and his audience.
Magicians are the only group of professionals in the world that lie to you and are honest about it.
Here's a little trick with 4 ordinary wooden rings. The fellow had an ordinary handkerchief, and he put this handkerchief in his right-hand pocket.
Your audience goes in to a theater with the understanding that they're going to be fooled, that they're going to see something that's not real. And they're saying, bring it on, show me.
He's up to his hanky-hanky tricks again. And by the way, customers, all the tricks are Erickson's, honest engine.
Some people want to have that moment of regression where they recapture that childlike wonder that we all had when we were kids.
Right up on top of the bird, and your other hand on the front of the cage, and your other hand on the back of the cage.
Wait a minute, I can do that. Oh, excuse me.
Sorry.
I'm sorry.
I'm terribly sorry.
Why didn't you all tell me that this was going to happen? Would you do that again for us? Where is it?
That's what all the girls say.
And I said,
when people watch a magic trick, they tend to fall into one of two categories. Some people think they really, really want to know how the trick is achieved. It's like a puzzle and it just really annoys them not knowing. The other group just don't want to know. They enjoy the magic.
At first, you might think that those people should stay well away from a Penn and Teller show.
Next stage, I reached but could not find.
Penn and Teller have got this terrible reputation of giving away secrets.
But it's not that simple.
They use the notion of explaining how tricks are done, and they stand it on its ear. In other words, they use that intrigue that an audience has to further their own deceptions.
Show 'em how it's done, brother.
There are no secrets in magic. There are no real, honest-to-goodness secrets in magic. When a box gets pushed out on stage and a woman comes out of it, everybody in the audience knows she was hidden in the box. You may not know how to build it, but you know she was hidden in the box. And for some reason, magicians think it's a deep mystery, whereas nobody knows how their TV works. People don't know how their toaster works, for Christ's sake, you know? That's like, oh, the refrigerator, how's it getting cold? Well, we're keeping that a secret from you. You don't have to, no one cares.
Penn and Teller are no longer the bad boys of magic. There's a more recent form of disclosure, far more troubling to magicians.
I would never deliberately reveal a secret to the general public. There are people who do it because it's a really easy way to make a living. It's that simple. They're not very clever at doing it, so they think it's clever to reveal the secret.
You're about to see one of the world's top magicians break his code of silence and reveal some of magic's most closely guarded secrets. He will be known only as the Masked Magician. First, the elephant is there. Then he's not. Have you figured it out? Well, here's how the trick is done.
Now, the magicians at first were very, very angry. Of course, they were angry with me because they didn't understand my involvement, the truth behind my involvement.
For his first trick, the masked magician will turn one of his assistants into a tiger. The magician selects an assistant and puts her into the cage. And when the curtains are removed, our assistant has been turned into a 500-pound tiger.
The message that it sends is the wrong message. You shouldn't be saying that to people because you're spoiling it for them.
The idea is to prove to the audience that the lantern is empty. When a magician goes to these lengths to prove his point, you know he's up to something.
It's time to change. It's time to the audience needs something new. They want to see new things, and magicians need to think and not rely on illusions that other magicians have created, you know, 30, 40, 50, 60, 100 years ago.
Now that we've shattered some of magic's greatest illusions, hopefully this will encourage magicians everywhere to come up with bigger and even more impressive tricks. And who knows, maybe someday we'll show you how those tricks are done too.
But in this day and age with internet and magic shops and magicians willing to write books, the concept of the secret is really no longer a secret when you really look at it.
Okay, let's let the cat out of the bag and show you how the trick is done.
You can always go to the library, and you can always open up a book, and you can always go to a magic shop, and you can always find how simple those secrets are. But people don't do it, and the reason people don't do it is because it's not very interesting. So exposing secrets is a kind of formula for disappointment, and it always has been.
We can't do anything outside the law of physics. We have no powers that you don't have. We just know a little bit more about how to scam.
And the scams have grown to gargantuan proportions as magicians vie to outdo each other, vanishing bigger and bigger objects. Determined not to be outdone, David Copperfield is always upping the ante. But there are always rivals.
There's another magician who does similar things, who's still doing these things, like Franz Harari, who vanished the Taj Mahal. And that's, I mean, that's wonderful stuff, but it does take a lot of swallowing.
To me, size matters. And I think that where people balk at the idea of trying to make something that is a fix, like a building or architecture or a mountain, disappear, well, I think we live in an age where people take it for granted. Look, the Taj Mahal is not going to disappear. It's not moving. Even if you got all the permissions and paperwork, you're not taking it anywhere. But it is conceivable that it could become invisible.
We invited Franz Harari to perform a new illusion for this program. It promises to be the biggest disappearance ever on British soil.
How's the hair? Is the hair good?
Yep.
Hair's good? Okay, good. I'm obviously here in London. That would be the Tower Bridge. And the reason I'm here is for the past 15 years or so, I've made a pretty good name for myself doing mega magic or mega illusions. A couple of years ago, I made the Taj Mahal disappear. Before that, it was the space shuttle. It's sort of become my thing. And I thought the Tower Bridge is such a universal icon. It is so emblematic of England that it'd be great to do something with this. Here it is. Ta-da! So what I did is I called 3 friends of mine who I've known forever. And whatever happens or wherever it goes, they're going to be right there with me.
I know we talked about doing something that's very gritty here, like we get passers-by.
We're doing it for a certain amount of people in a certain location. The illusion will not happen for everybody in London. It will only be for people at that location.
Most illusions are over in the blink of an eye, but all rely on careful planning and a plausible setup.
All right, let's get everything out of here. I don't want to break it. Yeah. You know what, guys? We're going to need a hell of a lot more space than this. Once you understand the formula, once you get the formula, and more importantly, the psychology, it doesn't matter if you know the secret or not, because beyond that, your brain is still going to mistranslate what it sees. I can tell you that we're going to use a certain amount of geometry, a certain amount of loss of depth perception, and a certain amount of color relationship.
This is a mirror. These are common in bathrooms in the United States.
You go, right there. Good. I think a little deductive reasoning will tell you we're not going to slide a